Hello, good morning. It's a Monday. Welcome to the Monday edition of Random Source with Maxine. My name is Maxine Misode. You know how I do it every Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm here to share my thought with you. Sorry for the late starting program. Charlie, one of those days that you know how it is like, yeah. But I'm excited to be here as always, and I know you're also excited. And it's always a pleasure connecting with you. I'm in the studio today with Selom. Selom, please say hi to all my listeners and viewers.
Okay, so hi to everybody.
So this Selom today is not Dominico, it's Selom. So this is Selom in the studio with Maxine, and together I'm going to share my thought with you. Welcome aboard. Let's jump straight into it, okay? Today, because time is fast spent, I quickly will jump straight into today's topic, and it's titled My Distractions. My Distractions. So I don't know how and when you can easily tell if you are distracted as a person. Does it come very easy for you to know, no, I'm distracted? No, I have to stay focused. Does it really come easy? Do you even know what your distractions are? Are you currently distracted? Okay. Is there something that you know you're supposed to be doing, but something else has preoccupied your mind to the extent that you've forgotten about the original goal? So you know how it is like when it's a new year, we have resolutions written down, things we want to achieve. And just yesterday, I struck a conversation with someone in my church. I was just asking her about when she was going to school and why her choice of a certain school. She's done with her BEC. And she's like, oh, it's all girls school on her list. I'm like, what's the reason? She's like, my mother says I should choose all girls schools. I said, okay. So your mother says you should choose all girls school, right? And what's her reason? She says, her mother says when I go to a mixed school, I'll be distracted. I'm like, whoa, okay. So that's the fear of a mom about her adolescent daughter getting into a mixed school, because you know how it is like. Once a mixed school, girls will like boys, boys will like girls, and you can't concentrate on the books. But I was just listening to him like, this is entirely not true. I mean, you can also get distracted in an all-girls school, one reason or the other. But for whatever it is, her mother is stuck with the idea that once it's a single-sex school, she'll be fine. And once it's a mixed school, no way, because probably she's just picking hints about how her daughter is constantly interacting with guys. So she thinks, okay, that's not a platform to also do more of the things you've already been doing. I know that we've all gotten to a point in time where we think, I have been distracted. Or there are times we are clueless as to whether or not we are distracted. And I was thinking through my New Year resolutions for the year. And I remember the first thing I wrote that for the next 3 months, I am not going to get into any shop and ask for the price of clothes. For all those who know me, I love clothes. And I can spend my time moving from one shop to the other when I have money, checking out the latest trends. But guess what? It's already, today's the 25th of January, and I have been to 2 of my favorite clothes shop already. Not to buy, but to check out if they have new stuff. Sometimes I feel like I have already defeated my whole idea of wanting to stay off buying new set of clothes till the next 3 months. Somebody's listening like, why the next 3 months? Because Charlie is coming with it all its difficulties and challenges. But I'm like, okay, can I just use the first 3 months to test myself? Can I use the first 3 months to test the waters, whether or not I can do this? And as I said, I have already been to 2 of my favorite clothes shops already. I have checked out the new stuff. Why didn't I buy? Probably because the things that I saw were not striking enough. The things I would want to get in my wardrobe. Then I asked myself the same question again. What if I saw that mannequin dressed in a nice dress that really suits my taste and fashion? will I still buy it? But just moving from my house to go check what is new for me is even a distraction in itself. Because per the things I have written, this is a no-go area. If you decide not to buy clothes for the next 3 months, you should stay off any shop that sell clothes. Meboa. But already I have gone against my own rules. What distracts one person from the other is usually subjective. So what would distract me will be different from what would distract Selom. But currently, I think there is a trend. There's a lot of things that distract everybody at the same time. For example, our phones and being on the internet, whether Facebook, whether Instagram, whether Twitter, whether all the communities. We get distracted by our phones with notification bells. We get distracted. Who is WhatsApping us? We get distracted. Sometimes we are glued to watching people's updates like the entire day. The least addition to the updates, we are quick to watch and all that. And I'm like, okay, now it's becoming a phenomenon. Everybody seems to be glued to their phones. Everybody seems to be attached to the internet. And so for me, I can confidently say that phone and surfing the internet, and for all those of us who are technologically savvy, are kind of like having some challenges with regulating how we restrict ourselves when it comes to accessing the internet. So do you remember the first episode of Random Thought with Maxine in the year 2021? I said something that there's a new mechanism I have discovered for myself, or there are things I have put in place to check the rate at which I get on the internet, and it's to charge my battery fully. Someone says it's a bad idea, you're going to spoil your phone. And so why won't you charge fully and then train your mind not to constantly go? I'm like, see, it's working for me. Once it's 25% and it goes off, then I know that in the next 4 or 5 hours I would have to charge it fully. Somebody is saying that, oh, okay, for those of us, the nature of our work demands that your battery is fully charged. We do a lot of interactions with our phone. Granted. So if I have 25% and I know that my battery life depends on how well I save my energy, it means that invariably I'm not going to go to places like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram just for the luxury of time. That is also my distraction. But guess what? Not charging my battery is helping and it's doing the trick. My second distraction that I want to share with you is, gosh, I love to live in the moment. Sometimes I forget that, or there's something that has to be done. I don't know if you can identify with this. It is like you can't be bothered. There's this thing to be cleared. There's this pile of work to be done. But at that point, you are like, I don't want to do it. Can I do it tomorrow? Can I take my time? Can I do half and finish with the other half the next 2 days? And we just want to live in the moment. I don't know if I'm the only one who is struggling with this. There are times you just want to lazy. There are times you just don't want to do anything. And so I look at all these times that I was just living in the moment. Forget all other things. This is the time. Enjoy it while it lasts. And I'm thinking, is this not a form of distraction? Because there are things to be achieved, right? There are things to be done, right? There are targets to meet, right? Just because your mind wandered for the next 10 minutes, you think it's okay to live in Wonderland and not get out there. And we all do it. There are things we have written down and we are thinking that, okay, in the next 2 months, I should be able to read like 5 books. Then you get distracted. You just live in the moment and you forget that, Charlie, there's a target to meet. There's something to be done. And we enjoy it. Personally, I do. Sometimes it's not funny and it doesn't even sound productive. But the unfortunate thing is I'm doing it. And I am forgetting that the days are just running by. Today is on the 5th of January. and you don't even know what is making you live in the moment, and you're thinking, I'll get through this period, and whatever is there that is waiting for me shall be attended to. Brothers and sisters, my people, sometimes we all get like that. I don't know how the month of January has treated you with even the things that you have listed as your resolutions. Have you forgotten about them? You just living in the moment. I mean, things are not really like panning out as you expected. But have you given up on the things? Do you feel you are distracted? Do you know what is distracting you? Can you showcase all the forms of distractions you have in your life? Is it easy talking about your distractions? Can you even identify them? So that's one I've shared. I think this is the second one I have shared. And the third one is our emotions. See, there are times that you are all excited about something. You wake up and your adrenaline is like popping. You want to do one or two things. You want to achieve A, B, C, and D. But there are times you wake up and your energy level is that low. So I can understand there are times you are on cloud 9. You feel all rejuvenated. There are things you want to do. If I don't do this by the end of the day, I have to finish this up. But there are times like you are sad. You don't have the energy to even fuel you for the next 2 hours. There are things that are hitting you left, right, center. Your emotions have a way of distracting you. So you know how it is like, I don't feel like, I'm not happy, I'm sad, I don't feel like reading, I don't feel like doing this assignment. And this is your emotion distracting you from your focus. Please, we have all been distracted by our emotions. Currently, you are even distracted. There are things that's happening around you that you don't really understand. You wish things could get better and that things turn around for your good and in your favor. But they don't seem to be changing and they don't seem to be turning around. So my big question is, do you just sit down and wallow in pity? Do you sit down and say, okay, today I'm not happy, I am not working. Today I am sad, I'm not touching anything. Today I just want to be in bed. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to touch that work. I don't want to go for that program. I don't want to see that friend. Is your emotion dictating how you live your life? Have you ever identified the fact that your emotions are a major distractions to achieving your focus and the things that you have set out to do? This morning, I just want you to check with yourself again. Check with yourself again. Your emotions are taking the better side of you. Have you realized? Have you realized that? Is this something that you want to live like that, or there's something you want to do about it? Whether we like it or yes, as a friend will say, we can always not be happy. Things will always not go in our favor. There'll be difficult times. There'll be hard times. There'll be good times, and that you can even shout and exclaim, life is good. But there'll be times that there is no energy for you to even want to push forward and do the things that you set out to do. Do not let your emotions become a major source of distraction. Is your emotion depriving you of the things that you can do? Has it deprived you in the past? Did you take notice of the fact that you are unable to achieve A, B, C, and D just because you thought that you were just not in the mood? How long would you not pick that book to learn because you are feeling lazy? How long will it take you to snap out of that emotion and say, see, I have spent the 2 hours of my life, of my day, thinking through this. Can I just and do the needful? The fourth thing that I really want us to talk about is a distraction that comes within, and that's fear. See, you look at your list of things you want to achieve this year, and the fear of you failing keeps haunting you. I don't know if anybody can identify with this. What if I try and it doesn't work? Am I going to write these exams again? What if I get the same results as I did 2 years ago? Am I going to start this business all over again? Am I going to do this again? And it is just the fear of knowing that there's a probability you might fail that is distracting you. And so you sink through the fear and you're like, no way, I'm not going to do this. Is this something that you think is too late to achieve? And that fear is distracting you from even giving it a shot. Fear has always stolen the part of our lives that can make things turn around in our favor. As I sit here now, there are a lot of fear that I dread. There are a lot of things that I would want to achieve this year. But you see, constantly, fear just pops in and say, Madam, remember this thing you have tried before. Do you think you want to go through that stress again? Do you want to go to that library and spend your whole day learning and nothing is going to come out of it? Do you want to go try that jobs hunt you went on that nothing came out of it? And it's distraction. I don't know how fear has distracted you, but as I sit here, I look at my to-do list and the ones that I want to see happen this year gives me a scare. It does. The fear of failing. It keeps haunting us by day. It keeps giving us the vibes that we do not need. The fear of starting a new relationship is a distraction. Do you want to go through that heartbreak again? Do you want to go through that whole time you spent your life seeing each other, talking long hours, and it's not amounting to nothing? Is that what you really want to do? But know that fear is a form of distraction. Fear will distract you from staying off focus. Today, on Random Thought with Maxine, I'm just sharing a few of my distractions that I kind of like came to terms with just these few days. There are things that I set out to do that I just realized that, Charlie, the energy level with which I started with from the beginning of the year is kind of like coming down. And I'm like, can I identify what the issues are? And I knew that, Charlie, I have been distracted. You are distracted by your immediate environment. You are distracted by your emotions. You are distracted by your phones and constantly being on social media. And then you are even distracted by just living in the moment, and anything can happen. It will happen, it will happen. No, Charlie. This it will happen thing is not working this year around. Oh. Whatever will happen. No, sometimes we get distracted to think like that. And once we think like that, it is not safe. It's Random Thought with Maxine. This morning, I'm sharing with you some few food for thought for the year. I'm asking the simple question, do you feel that you are distracted? Are there moments that you've been able to showcase your own form of distraction? Do you even know it when you are distracted? So I'll share this with you. I sit in my mother's shop, and by the time I realized that some lady come to pass who is like beautifully endowed, I just watch the men around. And I'm like, men and women with buttocks and boobs. I don't know what it is. So in the next 5 minutes, I'm in my shop. I see the person as a lady. I'm like, this is going to cause something to scatter. Then just like I have calculated in my head, I see the guys there. And in the next 5 minutes, they stop talking and they are just watching. I'm like, this is distraction. They forget that there's a conversation ongoing. And in the next 5 minutes, they're just staring at the woman's behind. I'm like, wow, woman power. And just like we all get distracted, Salom is here and he's just laughing to himself because he can identify with it. That men get distracted. Whoever you are, let that woman pass. Let it be something about her that you like or you admire. See, you will stop everything. Now, I kind of like understand people say, oh, I was watching where I was going. I didn't even know why I veered off the road. You were watching woman, true or false? And sometimes the effect of our distraction is that's devastating. So people have veered off the road and you enter a ditch. By the time you realize boys have to take you out, they will chop your money small for bringing your tie out. You pay, You go back to the mechanic, get it fixed. Woe betide you if you are not the owner of the car. You have to go and face your boss squarely. And so distraction even in our everyday activities is obvious. Secondly, in front of my shop, my sister decided to cut out some old calendars we have. There's some pretty ladies on it. And so we just have them paste. I don't know why she did that, but the pictures are really nice. So she pasted the pictures on the door of our shop. I can count the number of people who pass and they will just stop and admire the pictures on the door. From children, adults, grandma, and there are times people come and they ask you, is that your picture on the door? I'm like, oh no, it's from a magazine or it's from a calendar, and they won't trust it. But I just look at the fact that that image alone can make them pause for like 2 minutes. Sometimes you are wondering if they want something in the shop and they are kind of contemplating whether to buy from you or not to buy, only to realize that it was the picture that caught their attention. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you see, just in our everyday dealings and everyday activities, we get distracted. There's this small boy I have a crush on. He's like 2 or 3 years. That guy comes to my shop and I'm distracted. I can't do anything. He's that cute. And for me, cute babies are my distraction. This morning, I think he came around. He was preparing to go to school. And you know how it is like when you are just flipping channels. So I just flipped 2 channels. And I got to a station that they were praying. I'm like, okay, can I join them pray? Hey, spiritual mama. So the third intention came out. And the man who was leading the prayers was like, wherever you are, stop whatever you are doing. If you're in the office, just go to your washroom, because this is an important prayer topic. And I just realized this man was just putting across the message that don't get distracted. And this is this small boy in front of me asking me to fix his belt. I said, can't you see we are praying? And for some minutes, I was just shuffling between fixing his belt and praying. And I'm like, can't I just tell him to go away and come back for me to fix his belt later? But I was bent on pleasing him partially and pleasing my prayer life partially, when I should be like 100% praying or telling him that, Charlie, I'm praying. Let's do this after prayer. But I just was like, okay, can I shuffle between these 2 activities? Now I can understand why those times your teacher will go like, what was my last statement? Just because he identified that your mind was not in the classroom. And if you went to the school that I went to a public school, you will receive beatings on your head for just being distracted. Teacher will say your mind is not in the classroom. Or they will ask you a question because the person can see from your face that you are here, but you are not here. And then they will ask you a question that will throw you off guard, and it's embarrassing. So if there is any reason why I had paid attention in class, was just because I don't want the kids where they will say, Maxine, what did I say? What was the last thing I said? Or what are the 2 things I said before I wrote on the board? I don't want such embarrassment. So I'll be carefully listening with rapt attention just to get my facts right. We get caned and punished for getting distracted in class. We do. If you went to Montessori or you went to schools that did not cane, sorry, probably you have no experience like what I am sharing. But the teacher knew the reason why you should not be distracted. And for you to get the message down, you get beatings. That is your wake-up call. This morning I'm asking, what is your wake-up call? We are entertaining people who are distracting us. You know that boy you are talking to, the matter has died. The person has moved on. You have moved on. The person is calling you and reminiscing the good times you spent together. And you are still entertaining such distractions. Meanwhile, there's some boy who is also liking you and you are trying to build a new relationship. And something that has been taken away from you. And sometimes I don't even get it. We are not even aware of the fact that that's a distraction. Can you focus on your growing and budding relationship? Can you leave that guy because things did not work well? And so when he comes and he's giving you a litany of all the good times you have spent together, and so what will it do to you? How will you progress? How will it progress your current state? Nothing. And we are distracted with the things we like. It's the things that we like. You want to hear things. You want to hear the good old days, the good times you spent together. So he will give you. We are distracted because sometimes the mind has a way of playing back memories. And we love those memories. We just want to live in the moment. You are distracted because you can remember those days that you used to be an A student. And you are no longer an A student. And you are thinking, if only I can be an A student. And the power is in your hand. You know what you were doing some years back. You know how you were putting your art together just to achieve that set result. Can we do a better job? I don't know if you know you are distracted. But you see, it's not easy identifying that. No, it's not easy saying you are distracted. When you're in love and somebody sends you a text message and say you are my distraction, it's cool. Because you think, oh, I have his whole head scattered around. He's thinking all about me. He's doing nothing. And that is it. Sometimes early stage of love, that's what it leaves you. It leaves you distracted. People are failing exams just because they are in love. People are not learning just because they broke up with somebody. People have failed exams just because they got distracted in school and they messed around with the wrong girl or wrong boy. And that's it. Distraction will cost us our very life. It has cost people. Just get distracted on the road and you are getting an accident. Keep your eyes on the road. I don't know how it is like when you are crossing as a pedestrian and you do not watch left that you do. And somebody's coming and say, watch it. I mean, your heart will skip because, I mean, you know that you are just between life and death. It was just a slim chance. You probably have been dead by now. Watch it. Watch the things that are distracting you. Watch the things that is not making you stay focused. Your mind has a way of playing games with you. It would open folders and the mind will make you think that at this point, just relax a bit. Oh, just leave those books. February is there. You can be doing a good job with that. Or don't just take your time, one day at a time. Take it easy, cool, nice and easy. And you know that you are distracted. Have you identified the forms of distraction you have in your life? Do you know what distracts you? What is making you stay out of focus? What is your distraction? Is it your emotions? Is it just living in the moment? Is it your phones? Is it the fact that you don't just want to know you are distracted? See, every stage in this life has its own form of distractions. So when you're an adolescent, all they tell you that stay focused, read your books, boys will distract you. That's it. Now, you've passed the stage of adolescence, you've gone to uni, you have a well-paying job, and other things come in, family issues, workplace issues, whatever it is. Every stage has its own forms of distraction. Just like this young girl will say, my mother says I should go to a single-sex school because boys will distract me. At this age, probably you are listening and you are not a teenager. Probably you are listening and you are far advanced in age. But you know that, Charlie, you are going off. Know that you are not doing what you are supposed to do. You know that the mind is wandering around, knowing that you know what you're supposed to do, but yet you do not want to do it. Can you stay focused? That's one. Can you be in control of your mind? That's two. Can you master what you have when the mind comes to play? Or when the things that you want to do comes to play? What do you allow to distract you? Do you know it? This is a time to think through all the things I have said. It's easy to say stay focused. It's very easy to say that. But staying focused is a lot of work. When you are distracted, you don't stay in focus. You stay out of focus. So know what it is that distracts you. Need to know that you have to stay focused. Know that you have power and mastery over your mind. Be in control. You are in control. Just be in control. Once a while we wonder, I can understand. Once a while, we go off track. I can understand. But can you quickly come back and say, okay, I was daydreaming. Can we start doing something profitable? Can we start doing something useful? And I'm sure that will be good to go. For those times that our emotions are a major source of distraction, I say it. There are times we are down, like we are down, 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 if there's something like that. And I just take solace in scripture that says that weeping may endure for a night, joy comes with the morning. There are times you don't want to do anything. You just don't want to do anything, like you are tired. You are pushing and you are not getting results. But know that that sadness that takes over your life, or that feeling that says that you're not excited, can you do this? Do you want to do this? You have to get some level of energy before you do this. Can you just speak to that sin that keeps tormenting your mind and tell the person that, see, I got distracted, but I'm back on track. It's time to get on track. Somebody's asking, Maxine, is it not too early in the year to be distracted? Yeah, that's a good question. But the truth is, we are distracted. Somebody's listening is like, speak for yourself. I'm speaking for myself. If you are listening and you are not distracted, keep the focus going. If you are listening and you feel like, oh, you are distracted a bit, know that it's too early to be distracted. And so it's a good time to put your mind in check and get back on the path of focus. Know that whatever you have set out to do, whether it is fear that is haunting you, whether it's a fear of failure, know that whatever it is, you get distracted. And I don't know it. There's a part of our life that gives us 1,001 reasons why we cannot do the things we do. And it's loneliness. It gets lonely. And loneliness is a form of distraction. It tells you that in this state, you are scattered. There's nothing you can do. Can you just relax? Can you just take, yeah, it's okay to go easy on yourself. But the question is, for how long? The question is, for how long? For how long? I sit here this morning and I feel encouraged. I sit here this morning, I'm like, can I share this with my listeners and viewers? I sit here this morning, it's like I don't have it all figured out. There are things that I want to do this year that keep staring me in the face and they are giving me major fears. They are haunting me. But you see, whatever it is, it does not solve the fact that I need to achieve the things I have written down. Distractions is all over us. Just like men can stop talking and in the next 10 minutes just concentrate on a beautiful woman who can stop, who is passing by. Can we just snap out of our distractions? Can we just snap out of those moments where our emotions try to play tricks on us? Can we snap out of it with the help and the grace of God? And can we just get back on track? It's Random Thought with Maxine. I'll be right back. Please stay tuned in. And you know how we do it, you know what time it is. It's Random Thought with Maxine, and this morning I'm asking, just like now who calls Sam? It be the telephone or the fine lady. What is distracting you? So the question is now, who calls Sam? Who is causing your distraction? What is causing your distraction? Have you identified them? Do you even know them? Do you know it when you are distracted? You know how embarrassing it is if you are watching some lady, your friend says, hey, you too, haba. It's somebody who say it's chaos. And you just come back to reality and you want to give 1,000 and oh no, I wasn't watching her. You know, that kind of thing. Can we get uncomfortable just like being caught looking at something that we don't have to be looking at? And then we just get back into reality and say, Charlie, it's time to start grinding. It's time to start doing what we have to do. So this morning I'm picking your thoughts. I'm asking myself and yourself these questions, the following questions. Do you know it when you are distracted? What do you allow to distract you? Is it yourself? Is it your friends? Is it your phone? Is it your emotions? Is it fear? Is it living in the moment? Some of us is just living in the moment. Oh, it's party time. Then you're all over. Oh, let's party. Oh, this can wait. This can wait. This can wait. And there are a lot of things we are doing, and we have placed this can wait on the things that we are supposed to do, which cannot wait. And we are asking ourselves. But you see, sometimes we get distracted, and if you are not too careful, we'll just be living and living and living and living and living and living and living, and by the time you realize you have achieved zero. And that's a serious part, where you take account of your life and realize that Chalewa Mohu, you didn't do nothing. And the year has ended like that, and you are thinking, what happened to what I wrote? What happened to this vision? What happened to this focus? What happened to this? What happened to that? And now the time is spent. You can't take it back. You can retrieve it, and you are all bitter and cursing people. It's good when you are distracted for a while, but you see, it tells you that you're in control of your mind. When you are able to snap out of it, what is distracting you? Last time somebody called me, stop playing. Later I realized I know this guy, he just sows some seed of distraction. When see, some boys, when they, this matter, I can't talk, I'm here, you wait, on a good day. That boy was calling me, talking plenty. These things you are talking, we can't go anywhere with it. But see, he has planted a seed of distraction in my head. Now this is me thinking and going back and forth and tossing possibilities and plan B's and things in my head. When this matter, we have settled it. And that's how we get distracted at times. Because you see, the person has a way of feeling, and they know they can unconsciously they transfer it to you, and they get you, that's it. So this morning, can we look at our lives again, do list all the 2021 resolutions? Which one do you feel that you are how is your quiet time going? Is it as effective as you planned? Is it as effective as you anticipated? Or you are distracted with the daily chores and the hustle and bustle of Accra? Actually, nothing is happening, or the world and its work pressure and all that, and family life and all the things you have to juggle with, and I mean all the things we are juggling with. On the show, I say it, and I'll say it again. We learn and unlearn. It's good that in the month of January, we want to do a quick check on ourselves to find out if we are distracted. We want to do a quick check on our mind to see that, okay, during this period, my mind went on a wander tour. It has been wandering for long. Can I come back home? Then you come back home. Coming back home is probably meaning that you come back to your senses. Come back to the things you have written. Come back to the things that stares you in the face. Come back to the things you want to achieve. Thank you so much for your time. It's been an awesome time with you this Monday morning. This is a food for thought I really wanted to share with you. For all those who listen in, thank you. For all those who are always my silent listeners, I thank you. For all those who do not comment, is there comments? Okay, so for all those who are soaking in today's my distraction topic, thank you so much. Okay, so there's a comment from Frank. And what's Frank saying? Smartphones distract us more than a lady with a nice booty and pendulous boobs. Esawara Ankaumpe. So this is Frank trying to say that smartphone even. Hey Frank, You have not seen some boobs, so you have not seen some booties like that. But whatever it is, we've all been distracted at a point, whether women, children, family members, work colleagues, friends, acquaintances, whatever it is. There's some distraction going on in your life. Identify them, know what is your major form of distraction. Frank, what distracts you? Let us know if you are listening in, and you can share some of your distractions with us. Probably the distractions of 2020 that is popping up in 2021. And that's what happens. If you're unable to put them in check, they have a nice way of popping up. They have a nice way of cropping up again and telling you that, hey, Master, I'm not gone, no, I'm still here. So if it's the phone, have you reduced the number of screen time? Have you reduced the number of time? And instead of reducing the number of time, or if that is what you really want to do, what are you using as a replacement for reducing the number of screen time? If it is your quiet time that you are not having an effective one, what mechanisms are you putting in place so as to achieve an effective quiet time period? If it is the books that you want to learn and go back to school, if you had spent like 2 hours last year on one subject, what do you intend doing? Do you intend increasing the number of hours you spend at the library? Do you intend increasing the number of time you spend with the books? If it is your relationship that you think, okay, there are some distractions, have you identified what is distracting you, that you are not giving your best shot to that relationship? Is it worth keeping those distractions? What is the focus for the relationship? Can you look at it again? What are your distractions? What are the things that probably is just your friends feeding you with information and some vibes that you do not need, that is not making you sing properly? Can you deal with those distractions? Know your distractions, deal with them, and it will get you doing the things that you have to do. Remember, stay focused. It's a new month. It's a new year. It's okay to get distracted slightly, but quickly. Acha, 2 hours. Just get somebody say, and I keep thinking 2 hours crowd also. But you see, sometimes we just enjoy the moment, like Alice in Wonderland. We just want to just be in the moment, enjoy it, and do all the things that comes with it. But just snap out of it. Snapping out of it is the key. And work on the mind. The mind has a way of wandering. Where you have not sent it, you will go. The things that you say you should not think about, it will think about. So just check in with the mind, checking the mind constantly. Because see, all the things happen in the mind. Once you're able to say, Maxine, you are distracted, get back on track and speak to yourself. Talk to yourself. Sometimes I do that a lot. I tell my team, where am I cry? I mean, what am I doing? You are distracted. I tell myself, Maxine, you are distracted. Check it. You are distracted. You are distracted. Check it. And it serves as a check on me. Because if somebody tells you are distracted, it hurts. But that's the truth. But can you tell yourself? And that's the power of what you have over yourself. If you're able to tell the self that myself, Charlie, you have to stay G. Or you forget God. You are distracted. It will go a long way to help us. Thank you so much for your time. Pray you are not distracted in a way that will cost you your life. Stay focused. Know that whatever it is, fear is not a good recipe for your ingredients. It is not an ingredient you need to stay focused. Take out fear. Don't be afraid of the end results of what you're about to do. Just stay focused. Know that once you stay focused, the returns thereof you shall reap. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you, God willing, on Wednesday, okay? Stay safe, stay positive. Don't get distracted. The boys who are watching the women, or you watch small room, you jail eyes for whatever it is. Somebody who is part of men. It's it's part of growing up, please. But don't get distracted too much, because Charlie, whatever it is, the mind has to stay in check and has to stay in focus. I see you, God willing, on Wednesday. Keep safe. Safety protocols, please observe. The numbers are rising. Take good care of yourself and have yourself a good day and a fruitful week. I'm out of here. Bye. 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 Oh, Salom, say bye to them.
So bye to everybody.
Bye, Salom, and we'll see you, God willing, on Wednesday.